Well, let me say good morning to you, one and all. And again, we're grateful to God for another day. This is the day that the Lord has made. We will rejoice and be glad in it. I wanted to come on for just a few moments just to share a little something with you. And I think it is really important for us to understand and to recognize, especially when it comes down to participating in worship. Now, this that I have to say has absolutely nothing. Good morning, Carletta. How are you? Has absolutely nothing to do with union. It has everything to do with the commitment of the body of Christ to worship. I think this is really important, especially during this football season, where for some it appears that games are more important than showing up, whether it's worship virtually or whether it's in person. Okay. Thank you, Carolyn. How are you this morning? I need us to understand the importance of refueling and recharging. Terry, bless you, my friend. Thank you for being here with us. I don't care who you are, you need to be renewed. You need to be refueled. What happens if you ignore the gauge in your car that determines how much fuel is in the tank? What happens if you ignore the maintenance uh, that comes up on the dashboard that tells you that it's time for you to take it into the mechanic because there's some things that routinely need to be taken care of so that the machine functions properly? What happens when the check engine light comes on and you decide to ignore it rather than going and getting it fixed, which the cost of repair would be a whole lot less than you ignoring it, and then something catastrophic happens to your car? Good morning, Jaleesa. This is all I'm trying to get us to understand. Good morning, Valerie. Okay, Sharon, bless you this morning for being with us. This is important, and the Lord has pressed this in my spirit that during the pandemic, though we were not able to be in our buildings, we were faithful. Um, we were faithful in person, not in person, but streaming. We were faithful financially. We were faithful in calling on the name of the Lord because we had found ourselves in a situation that was beyond our control. And just like Sherry Rozier, how are you? You remember 9/11? You remember when those planes careened into the Twin Towers and all of that? Minister Sharp, how are you? All of that. You remember when that happened? And everybody's churches were full. Everybody's church was packed. Everybody was calling on the name of the Lord because fear had set in. And then when new um, requirements were put in place, and there wasn't anything that happened after that, then all of a sudden everybody started backing away, going back to what they used to do. So here's what I have to say to you. Just because you are vaccinated now, just because you feel that we are out of the woods, although we are not. Good morning, Ayana. Even though you feel that everything is just fine and you've gone back to the old inconsistent ways of honoring the Lord. That's the key, is honoring the Lord. You honor him with your presence. You honor him with your finances. You honor him with your commitment. And then now all of a sudden, church is no longer significant, whether it's online or whether it's in person. All of a sudden, I am just way too busy now. It's raining outside. In a few weeks, it'll be snowing outside. But I've watched, Jamie, good morning to you. I've watched people go to football games in frigid weather and sit there and scream and yell and have a good time. But when it comes to the Lord, there's always an excuse. Here's the question that I have for you this morning. And again, this is not to get you to show up to union. This has nothing to do with that. It's the fact that what does the Lord have to do to get you committed? What do you have to go through to get you committed? Because the Lord wants to do great things in your life. The Lord wants to provide and perform some of the most miraculous things that you have ever seen in your life, but he cannot put his power, his presence, his provision into the hands of someone who may or may not show up. That's all I got to say. I love each and every one of you. And I'm not really necessarily talking to the people who are on here right now, because most of those that are here, they're going to be in somebody's house, or they're going to be watching online. But for folk that say, well, I'm kind of busy right now, I got other things to do. Everything is more important. We just came out of Thanksgiving. What were you great? I see y'all. I know y'all on your way. I know. And I am blessed. I'm telling you, I'm blessed. I have hey, Christine, I have the greatest group of parishioners any pastor could ever have. But some of you think that this is like, I do it if I want to, do it if I don't. What if God decided to be slow in waking you up? What if God decided that he may let you breathe or he may not? What if God removed all the protection, the angelic intervention, the demon chasing power that is on your side away from you? I know, Minister Sharp, if you were here, you're here, but then you're faithful where you are. And that's all I wanted to say. I don't want to say anything else. I am not fussing. I'm actually, if you want to know the truth, I'm not mad, because here's what I know. God is faithful, and he is faithful to the people who are faithful to him. And so with that being said, now that some of you are rolling your eyes at me, saying that you would have to get on. Yeah, I do. I do have to do that. I do. Because I would not be a good pastor if I didn't take out some time to let you know what the Lord requires, what the Lord is looking for, what the Lord desires for his people. But I'm telling you what I've learned. He cannot put it in the hands of those he cannot trust out of all that he has done and all he has provided. Listen, I got to go. I got to preach this morning, and I want y'all to have a blessed day in the Lord. I don't care. Thank you, Sherry, for watching from work. And there are a bunch of people that have to work, and they will do whatever they got to do to try to watch the word of the Lord going forth. See, those are the people that God's going to do great things for. Those are the people that God is going to provide for them in an unbelievable way. And here's all I'm saying. Good, Sharon. Here's all I'm saying. You waiting on your slow huh? Out of all that God has done, slowness ought not be there in that household. Thank y'all for watching online. I am so grateful for you, but I sometimes I got to put a little fire up under some people. Okay. Good. Got to put some fire up under some people to help them to understand that God has been, this is what the old folk used to say, God has been better to us than we've been to ourselves. I look forward, Sandra, bless you. I look forward to seeing you if you're a part of the union ministry, either in person or online. But here's what I want. Find someplace where a pastor can give you instructions, where a pastor can guide you, where a pastor can show you the power and the presence of God that exists for you if you would just exist for him. Hey, I got to go. I'll see y'all in a little bit. May God bless you. May he keep you. is our prayer.